Hello Taurus, this is your February reading we're just back to our normal readings. So we are going to see what lies ahead. Also, there will be a SuperMoon around the 19th of February, depending on where you are in the world. And I believe that full moon is in Aquarius. Let's see what we have for Taurus. Taurus, give me one moment, please. All right. Taurus, seeing some conflict for you. Some inner conflict. So some of these same two cards for Scorpio. But you are trying to keep your resolve. Taurians are typically outwardly reserved, even if they are experiencing some inner turmoil. Let's see if we can see what this is about, right? So, seeing some inner turmoil, a lot of wands, some inflexibility happening there. With a decision, this could be surrounding a long-term relationship or family. Taurus, perhaps feeling like you are really not getting the help that you need in terms of relationship, business, family. Really looking for more of that help financially, and really feeling incredibly drained. A lot of anxiety surrounding the person who you may be considered, who is supposed to fulfill the role of the caretaker in the relationship, as one always tends to be a bit more dominant in relationships. a lot of these same cards were up for Scorpio. I think any offerings that have been made to you, Taurus, in this situation, they don't feel very nurturing. They feel sort of half done. And maybe the expectations that you had of this situation feel like they have fallen very short. And you've really been asking this person in the relationship to come over to your side and look at things from your side. That can be something so small as, I really need you to take the trash out when I get home. I'm exhausted and it's really a big deal and you're having arguments over that. To something like, I pay for a lot of the smaller bills and someone is taking care of a mortgage, but your half of things turns out actually to be more, and you feel quite drained in that way. And so you're asking for someone to consider your point of view. But if you feel that they are immovable in their point of view, that can be incredibly draining. If someone just will not come over to your side, because now you don't feel like you have a partner, you feel like you have a ruler and a king by your side, and that's much different than a partner. I don't see any partner energy here. So here we go. Next cards coming up are Strength, but in the reverse, and the Three of Swords, as I talk about not seeing any partner energy, and the Knight of Swords, which are, to me, in this instance, a lot of arguments that go nowhere. The King of Pentacles, but if you look at his expression, it's a very sort of turned up, his nose turned up at things. This is a person where you're not going to have any conversations with him. This could be you, Taurus. And maybe you're the one who cannot be reasoned with. So it looks like there's an offering coming in, but it's an offering with either some strings or some anxiety, and it could be surrounding money. Let's switch over Taurus into this other deck. But again, I don't see a lot of partnership. Oops, we need to do one more. Some of this could be surrounding finance. But again, finance, again, the way people handle finance reflects the way they do partnership. So if you show each other love in terms of that, that's a good sign. So an offer coming in, which you will not like at first, Taurus. I'm just going to tell you right now. The first offer that comes to the table, you're not into it. If you can consider it, though, it will turn the energy of the relationship around. I mean, it will at least set you on a path where you can, you know, get things going. If not, it will keep this person in a place where they feel like they do not want to communicate at all, and you're going into a lot of arguing. So I would at least consider their offer. Because right now this person is feeling you're both on edge. You're both on edge. I think you're, again, I talked about it in the beginning of the reading, holding a lot of things in and sort of side-eyeing this person. A lot of things coming up in the readings about finance, which is very normal after the holidays. People have spent a lot of money. This person is keeping their mouth closed as well, so there's no communication on either side. This person is also holding their feelings in. They have some things to say as well. And I think once you open that door up, you know, I mentioned this for Scorpio as well. Be careful about how you, I think when you initially open up the conversation, it's going to feel like it's going nowhere. Don't panic too much. Try to present it as if you were just shedding light on the situations. Taurians are not quite so hot as the hot-blooded like the Scorpios are. I would give the person a chance to sit on it for a while. But you are going to feel like they're giving you the cold shoulder. They're not. They're thinking about what you're saying. So don't panic. Just let them sit. They are going to try to think of a decent compromise. Again, if this isn't related to money, whatever the issue is, if this is that you don't like you need more love, you need communication, you need whatever it is, they're going to be open to the idea. They want to reciprocate. This person does care about you, Taurus. They do care about your needs. They're sort of running circles in their mind about how to do this with you. And I think they're kind of in the dark. They don't know how to give you what you need. It's so difficult trying to read cards like this. They have a little bit of something that they're holding back from you, whether this is a little bit of money or affection, or so they're holding something back, and I think it's because they feel like maybe you, wait a minute, they have a suspicion that either you have some sort of secret account, or you come off very distant in a way, and they are trying to all right, Taurus, excuse me. You know, I think, Taurus, what they're seeing is that you always have resources. You're always pulling things out of thin air. You are always, you always have money on hand. You always have resources. You always are the magician. You always have a way to pull things out. And they find that they're sort of wondering where that's coming from. And I think there's a little bit of jealousy there. I think there's some inner conflict again. Taurus, about how you want to handle this person. I think this is going to be a very specific remark, but I think your emotions with this person go in seasons. I think some days you love this person and some days you are just sort of over them. I think that's how you feel with this person. I think this relationship is at a point where some days it feels like it's completely over, and so then it goes through this very mysterious phase, and then it builds itself back up. I think you two might be playing some games with each other. This person is holding back, you're holding back with them. That may be out of fear. Sometimes when we really fear getting involved with someone, we just do that, but I do see some games here, Taurus, even on your end, and I think you are, and I'm not saying that from a place of judgment, that's just human beings are. Let's get you some other cards, though. The butterfly, that's beautiful. Here we go, the mask. Taurus talks about hiding your true self or assets. We just discussed this. The Dancer talks about happiness. The Butterfly talks about joy and transformation. The Fox is a deep thinker, but can also talk about deceit. I think there are some games here, Taurus. Again, I don't know if all of them are intentional. I think you're not communicating. I think this other person is not communicating. And I think this person is intuitive. I think they sense that you're holding back, and so they're holding back. They may be making up more in their head about what's happening. I think they're imagining that you have some cache of wealth because they see that you are resourceful. And so, in turn, they are not giving all of themselves to you because of what they imagine you may or may not have going on behind the scenes. And so they're thinking, well, maybe I don't need to help this person because I don't really think they need it. I think maybe they're playing victim or they're playing weak. Your card, Taurus, is improving health. And I think that has to do with emotional health. I think if you are able to make yourself more vulnerable and communicate in a way that is not so behind the board, some of this goes away. You know, if you are able to make clear boundaries and set them, it doesn't come off as a hidden agenda. I think what you are using as a protective shield, sometimes if we don't have enough in our toolbox to make it, to set it as a clear boundary, that's what happens. It comes off looking a little shady. So I think this for you is a time to think about improving your emotional well-being so that you can set the boundaries that you need to have good, healthy relationships with people and feel comfortable making boundaries without it setting off warning bells with them and making them want to put up walls with you. And I think this would be a great time to work on that. This is a time of, we're still in the winter months. But coming up will be a time of spring, and so maybe this is an idea to just let ideas sort of seed in your mind. I think this is a good time between now and then. So thank you so much for sitting with me for a while, Taurus. Take care.